All right, what is up, guys? Final week of Fittest of the Coast. These qualifiers are always long, especially when you're only doing one workout a week with multiple retests. You start looking at the leaderboard. Luckily, that has not come out instantly, but those stress hormones are always high. But your job this week is to finish on a high note, whatever that might look like. If you're on the bubble, it's climbing those spots to get as close to possible as qualifying, if not qualifying, because there's going to be backfill spots. People are not going to accept their invite. So there's going to be those backfill spots that you're going to get into. And if you're in a qualifying spot, it's fighting to keep yourself inside of that qualifying spot. Um, so we have a pretty interesting workout this week. It's 3 rounds. Well, sorry, it's literally double unders and upper body pulling. So 3 rounds, 50 double unders, 15 pull-ups, 2 rounds, 75, 15 chest to bar, 1 round of 150, and 15 bar muscle ups. So this kind of like ascending rep or difficulty scheme is something we see a lot of in CrossFit in regards to upper body pulling. Um, so if you've been in the sport for over 2 years, you've probably seen this in the open, in some other qualifier. So you should have a pretty good idea of where your capacity is at in regards to sandwich or putting those bar muscle ups at the back end of a workout. So refer back to that. You're probably fitter than that. So kind of take how you were feeling with a grain of salt. Maybe push a little bit harder. Um, but this week we're just going to kind of run down some things to think about in this workout. It is pretty straightforward. You're just doing double unders and upper body pulling, so it is very much a capacity based workout. But we're going for time, so it's a little bit different of how you want to pace this and think about this. So you're just trying to complete the work, not accumulate a lot of work. So um, first, we're going to break it down into total amount of reps per movement: 450 double unders, 90 upper body pulling motions. Um, so, with that in mind, our 450 double unders should take roughly right around if you're going unbroken on 450, it's right around um, that like 4 minute mark. So, it's a decent chunk of jumping on your feet, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind. Um, and then the 90 upper body pulling motions, pull ups are a faster movement, and chest to bars are a faster movement. You can do a chest to bar in about a rep. The bar muscle up's a little bit longer. We're looking at about 1.5 to 3 seconds a rep on those, depending on how much rest you're taking on the top. So the upper body pulling could be anywhere from 3 minutes to somewhere in the 4 minute range, 4 minute, 5 minute range. So add in the transitions there. The guy that won the workout, or the two guys that were really close, are right in the 9:30 range. So that's kind of about how much work we're looking at doing, is around 4 minutes of work with those transitions. So those guys actually did very well in this workout. It looks like there's at the top end of this workout, you're going to see people going unbroken. Those double unders are going to give people enough rest to hold those sets that they have inside of the workout. This doesn't mean that is the best idea to do, but that is kind of like the pinnacle of this workout. Is everybody's going to every all the top athletes should be going unbroken or close to unbroken. Maybe like 2 sets on your chest to bars and 2 sets on the bar muscle ups, maybe 3 sets on the bar muscle ups. You might see kind of some elite athletes going around that rep scheme, but not elite. This is a tight time cap for you. Anywhere in that RX and bubble RX, we're going to want to set a good strategy up. And so, what you should be looking at doing in your first attempt is being conservative on that strategy. On your second attempt, attacking that strategy. You'll find out enough about the workout, how it feels, where you can make up time, being conservative on that first attempt, and then attacking that second attempt. Um, Big things to keep in mind on this one are before that, we'll go into strategy. So, uh, probably 3 sets on the first set of pull-ups, knowing that bar muscle-ups is going to be where you make your money on this. If you can go bigger sets on those bar muscle-ups, you're going to put up a better score. I think the guy at the end was doing threes, and he had some pretty aggressive pacing strategies on his. So you can mitigate some of that breakup in the bar muscle up with breaking up early on the pull-ups. So something like 555, 654, 8-7 would be fine on the pull-ups. Getting into the chest to bars, same thing. 2 to 3 sets. 654, 8-7, 10-5, something like that. I think erring on the side of less than 10 reps will allow you to not accumulate a ton of lactate, which is what's going to be the limiter when you're getting into those um, bar muscle ups. So you're going to want to stave off as much of the fatigue in the lats as possible by going smaller sets. Unless you're a freak on gymnastics, then just this whole workout is about double under speed basically. And then double unders, probably looking at going unbroken on those first 3 rounds, and then looking at sets and setting your sets before you get into the workout. So we don't want to just assume that we're going unbroken. It's harder than it is. You start tripping on the rope in the round of 75, then you're doing 12, 11, 7, 8, and randomly trying to chip your way to getting to 75 reps in that first, second round of 75, and you're like, fuck, I still have 150 to go. So set your sets on the double unders before you go into that workout or before you get into that round. The 50s are probably unbroken. You might be able to get away with like 30-20 quick sets. But set your sets up 50-25, 45-30, 40-35, something like that on the 75. And then on the 150, same thing. Figure out your sets before you get into it. That could be a 60, 50, 40. So a little bit bigger set to start, moderate set, easier set. But you just essentially, when you're getting into workouts like this, you want to have benchmarks that you get to before you take your rest. So get to those benchmarks, take your rest. Obviously, if you're in like within 10 rounds, probably just rest and then get to that next benchmark. But that's being an athlete and making a game time decision. So that's kind of on you. But look to have some benchmarks to get to where if you trip up early, you're just, hey, I'm going to that benchmark. So keep that in mind. Now, the guys that did finish the workout, I think one of them did break. He was in the 930. I think he got through his bar muscle ups a little bit faster. It's tough to tell on that live stream. And then the other guy was 930, taking a lot of breaks on the bar muscle ups. So this is going to be a tight time cap for people who are breaking up that workout. So your rests are going to have to be super efficient, as well as your transitions are going to have to be efficient. So we should be getting off the bar with the ability to go right into those double unders. Set your rope up sideways to the rig so that when you get done, you can just step back and turn and start your double unders. Taking 2 steps back or 3 steps back to make sure you're clearing the rig is just going to be kind of a wasted transition on this one, especially if you're going unbroken on this stuff. You're basically just going to want to drop down, take a step turn out, and then start your double unders. The rig's here. You're doing your upper pulling. You drop, you step out, and you start your double unders. Other things, make sure you're stopping that rope, setting the handles down each time so you know where they're at and you can go and grab them right away. You're not flinging your rope, setting it down weird, having to step through. Stop it with those feet, set the handles down, turn and go to your upper pulling motion. Some limiters that we might see and why we want to break this up is grip fatigue. The big thing on your double unders is going to be relaxing your shoulders, and then you're going to work on trying to breathe through those upper pulling motions. Before you get into this, warm up your feet really good. So intrinsic foot strengthening. If you're an athlete with us, you have done that before. So make sure you warm your feet up. Good calf raises. Calf raises on a deficit, though, to strength, to kind of activate that bottom of the foot, get a little bit more stretch, cause it to go through a higher range of motion or more of a range of motion. And then warm up your straight arm strength, your scaps, so that you can bear the load of that kind of eccentric or landing from that kipping motion, that butterfly kipping motion, should allow you to breathe a little bit easier through those reps. I would even probably warm some double unders up nasal breathing to make sure that you're able to breathe through those pretty well. But have a plan on this first one, guys. Don't just go into it. That is the big thing, and kind of feel it out. Have a plan. Definitely recommend staying conservative on that plan, knowing you're going to retest it, and then be a little bit more aggressive on that retest. So, if you guys have any questions or anything, please reach out, Instagram, leave a comment on YouTube or wherever you might be seeing this video. We're more than happy to help, give you guys some strategy, help with some of your guys' strategy, give you guys maybe some times. I think top times on this are honestly going to be around probably that 8-minute mark for guys, 8:30 for guys, and maybe honestly maybe a little bit quicker for girls just because their range of motion is a little bit less, like that 8 to 8:15 mark for girls. So there's definitely going to be some guys that are quick on those gymnastics. Same with the ladies, quick on those gymnastics and going close to unbroken. And then their double under speed is just going to be pretty fast with fast transitions. So good luck this week, guys. Remember, climb the leaderboard. Your job is to do your best on everything. It's a learning experience. Everything will set you up for future success. So effort over everything. And we'll catch you guys hopefully at the competition.